The job market in 2026 actually is looking better than 2025. We just added on this last print about 178,000 new jobs, and unemployment sits at 4.3%. So on the surface, hey, this seems great. Things look solid. But when we start breaking down, getting into the actual data, who's getting hired, who's not getting hired, what's really going on? Does it really look that good? Yes, unemployment sits at 4.3%. And when you look at that number, it seems healthy. So today in this video, I just wanted to dive into what really is going on with this jobs market. Because prior to this print, last month, we had negative 93,000 jobs that just got revised to a negative 133,000 jobs. So the last 4 or 5 job prints prior to this one have not been good. In the 178,000 jobs that just got added, are they the jobs we really want? And that's what we're gonna dive in today, because what we are reading about is just what happened as I shoot this video yesterday. Oracle's laying off another 30,000 employees. Yes, they might not be here in the US, around the world, but you're seeing tech lay off at a pretty alarming rate. That's 18% of its total workforce. You're starting to hear headlines that AI is replacing jobs. But what you're not really hearing and nobody wants to talk about is really the truth and reality. The truth and reality is that when we entered the pandemic, as we know, unemployment skyrocketed because we were all stuck at homes and businesses didn't know if we were going to survive, what was going to happen. So they laid a bunch of people off, millions and tens of millions of people. Then they hired them back. Then they hired even more. Why? Because they got money from the government. Interest rates were at zero to borrow. And they knew the economy coming out of being locked down, especially for consumer products, hospitality, things like that, was going to go bonkers. And so they hired. You know it. Maybe you're watching this video, you're looking for a job where you're like, I was at my job, I was getting recruited for another job to get a big bonus and go here. People are bouncing around. People are getting offers. People are getting overpaid. People are working 2 jobs they didn't know. It was out of control. Just like when interest rates were low, right? The housing market, as you guys know, everybody's refinancing, people were buying homes, second homes, investment properties. It was crazy. And here in 2026, in the beginning of the year, we were sitting here scratching our head, wondering a jobs market that once was crushing it, plenty of opportunity, plenty of raises, plenty of bonuses, plenty of just stability. We're seeing a fractured job market. And what you're really seeing is numbers from one month to the other seem to be skewed, seem to be different, seem to be numbers that we're not even sure if we can actually trust. Why? Because like I just said, the month prior was negative 92,000, that revised to negative 133,000. So that is called instability, and that's called volatility, which the market does not like. What does like a jobs market that's cracking and not doing good is lower rates. That drives uncertainty, and uncertainty drives the feds to say, hey, we need to cut rates. Obviously cutting rates, lowering rates stimulates the economy. If you guys lived through the pandemic, you were here when interest rates were 0, mortgages were 2-3%, business loans were cheap, banks, credit unions, you name it, were handing out money like it's candy at super low rates, and you had all this money enter the economy, and now we're left with a hangover. By the way, if we never met, my name is Kenny Simpson. I focus on 1 to 4 unit financing. That means if you're buying a house, a condo, a 2 to 4 unit, and you need a purchase loan or you need to refinance, I could be your guy. I've been doing this 20 years, helped over 5,000 customers, funded billions of dollars of loans, and I actually make videos like this because I want to break down what's going on maybe with the jobs market, what's going on with interest rates, what's going on with the current situation with Iran, the war, how it affects housing. So all these things I talk about all really are focused around housing, interest rates, economy, because this all are kind of intertwined together. So anyways, nice to meet you. If I can ever be of assistance or help, please let me know, reach out, schedule a time, text me, call me, email me, schedule an appointment. We can get on a Zoom. Love to help, love to answer any questions, and share this video with somebody else too, because maybe they want to learn something as well. So let's zoom out a little bit. In 2025, for 6 months in a row, we only created about 15,000 jobs, which is terrible. It's not good at all. Obviously, we're not, if you're living in the real world, if you're not living on an island or not retired and care less what's going on with the market, and you've been looking for a job, you graduated from school looking for a job, maybe you got let go from a tech job, you're trying to find another one, you realize it's very, very hard. There is a lot of jobs out there, but there's also a lot of people looking for those jobs. Also, what's being skewed is that about 25% of the people that are sitting here unemployed, not making income are only being accounted for. They're only going and getting unemployment benefits. Either they ran out, they don't qualify, whatever it is. We are really not getting the true number. So the people that are sitting on the sidelines unemployed right now is much higher than actually it's shown in the data, because we just know that. So now let's talk about the important part of really why I made this video today, and let's break down what's in this jobs, right? So the problem with these jobs is that you're going to see, if you actually went back and look at these charts and look what's hiring, over and over and over again, we're seeing the same jobs. Healthcare is the winner. You're seeing some construction jobs, which is a good sign, came back. Is that temporary? You're seeing some transportation, warehousing. You're seeing the government hiring. You're seeing the hospitality industry hiring. But here's the issue. We are not seeing massive job growth in tech, in finance, and kind of white corporate jobs that are the more high-paying executive jobs. We're not seeing that. We're actually seeing that's where they're slashing jobs. That's where they're threatening AI is going to take your job. That's where maybe we're realizing they overhired, and now they're going to start shedding jobs. You've seen it with Oracle. You've seen it with Meta. You saw it, I think, with Square. You are going to start seeing a lot of these companies that way overhired, whether it's in the US or around the world. They are going to continue to slash jobs at 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40,000 plus jobs in some of these companies you're seeing, because they just don't need the employees. They overstaffed, they kept them on, and they don't need 10 people to do the job of 2 or 20 people to do the job of 4. And you're going to start seeing layoffs. And these layoffs, think about it. Meta, the average person at Meta makes over $300,000 a year. So they let go 20, 30,000 people. You can imagine that job is a good job. That job is paying for household bills, mortgages, colleges, food, you name it, right? That person going to the next tech company or going somewhere else might have a difficult time finding a replacement job for that in today's market. So here's where things kind of get interesting. Even though the data looks okay, people don't feel good about the job market. You and I know that. They're just not feeling good about this market. Just like the consumer. You're not feeling good. You're spending. Yes, you're keeping up, but depending on where you live in the country, you might live in a little place where there's a bubble where you're around, where higher income earners or self-employed people, or there's just a affluent kind of atmosphere around you where people have extra money and they're spending and things seem normal. But when you kind of pull the curtains back and everything, like, it's not. Now that we're in an Iran war, gas prices shot up, the discretionary spending is getting hurt. The tax, obviously people got their tax refund back. It was the average of $350 a person. I think they thought that was going to be higher. That money is being spent. So that stimulus they got from the tax rate, and what I'm hearing out there, whether it's true or not, we'll see if it takes place, the big beautiful bill is not really showing the signs of what we thought. That AI coming on and creating more jobs and stuff, that might be slower than we thought. That AI infrastructure with all the money everybody's supposed to bring in internationally or nationally here to create all these jobs and infrastructure for the AI, is that really happening? I don't know. This Iran war definitely put a major, major damper in everything. Literally the day before this Iran conflict started, interest rates were probably in the high 5s with no points on the conventional rate. We got a bad jobs report. We thought rates were coming down. And now as we sit here and I shoot this video a month later, or so, interest rates have now went from the high 5s to 6.5 with no points, somewhere around there. Rates have gone up a half a point, whether it's commercial, whether it's residential, whether you're a small business, it's painful. On top of that, the cost of gasoline has gone up. So that means that right now, everybody might be absorbing this cost, but eventually if this gasoline price stays in effect, you're going to start seeing this pass forward. And as inflation kind of is rearing its head, as we might have started seeing here in quarter 2 and 3, it started to come back down based on the tariff stuff coming away. This Iran conflict might push us back up to higher inflation. Because remember, the feds, which don't necessarily always dictate long-term rates, they do dictate where kind of money's flowing, how markets are looking. Is they are looking, number one, is the job market healthy? If not, they'd immediately have to start cutting. They definitely have their eye on it. They're definitely concerned. Even though we got 178,000, we might get a revision where that got cut 30, 40, 50 plus thousand on that print, so it could be much worse. Number two, the feds obviously are going to look at inflation. That's the big thing. The 10-year treasury has really been looking and moving more in the line with inflation rather than what the feds say, because inflation has been around longer than we thought. Yes, it has come way down down, but that target level for the Feds is 2%. So we're sitting above that. If you look at the true inflation, the true number, it's actually probably closer to the target of the Feds, but we're not there yet. Number three, also the Feds are going to look at the overall economy, the consumer, how they are. Because remember, 75% of this economy is by you and I spending money and consuming and buying things. So if that starts to trickle down, that's the problem. That's why Feds always are focused on jobs first. If you don't have a job, you don't have money coming in, you cannot pay your bills, you cannot pay your mortgages, you're not going to go out and shop, spend, go to the movies, and things like that. So really where even Jerome Powell made a statement about he was very concerned that the private sector really has not added any jobs. And that's really where we should be focusing. We want to be getting private sector hiring is where we want. But a lot of it, again, is in healthcare, government, service jobs, things like that. That's great because you're hiring, but that's not really where we want to see the job growth. We really want to start seeing the job growth in the private sector because as this keeps dragging out more and more and more, it's going to be a problem. Like students coming out of school right now looking for a job, it's really tough. That unemployment rate's pretty high. The percentage of students not finding a job's tougher. And as we get further and further along in this kind of jobs environment where this keeps going and the private sector's hurting, it's only going to get worse and worse and worse for those students. And obviously if AI is taking those entry-level jobs and things like that, you can start seeing unemployment for these students go to 10+%, and you're gonna have a major problem. These students will be living with their parents long, taking jobs that they went to school for, they wouldn't be able to afford to pay back their college loans and things like that. So it could create a major, major issue. So what we're looking for in the private sector is we're looking for strong business hire, we're looking for higher income growth, we're looking for expansion in corporate sectors. And that's gonna come from corporations feeling confident about the economy, corporations feeling confident about like the political environment, what's going on with the global environment. Right now that we're in this conflict with Iran, it's like you and I all feel it. Like it's literally consumes all the news, consumes everything. We talked about it because there's a big uncertainty here. And as I make this video, and this will be released tomorrow, we will know that if we have this deadline, we're gonna go and attack Iran, whether you agree with it or not. This is just the reality we're living in. We don't know what these consequences are ultimately gonna do for the world, for the global economy, for our economy here. So there's a lot of uncertainty and people are feeling very unrested and just not very comfortable in the current situation because really we don't have much transparency around what the hell's going on. So to wrap up this video, here is what's truly going on in 2026. The job market has started off better in 2026 and 2025, so that is a good thing. We're seeing more hiring, so it's better than the alternative. But still, that's not as strong as we want to see across the board. Hiring is definitely uneven, and the private sector growth is limited to nothing. And consumer sentiment is still near recession levels, and obviously with this Iran situation, the longer this goes, the worse it's going to feel for all of us. And why all of this matters? Because it's not just about the jobs we're creating, it's about what kind of jobs, where are they coming from, whether that's sustainable, are they higher paying jobs, can people that have these jobs afford to pay for their food, pay for their healthcare, pay for their cell phone, pay for rent, pay for a mortgage, buy a home, keep this economy going? We just don't know. And why do I care about the jobs and why should you care about the jobs? Because the jobs is definitely at the top of the list for Fed officials, for government and all that, because if jobs go, the economy will go. Obviously, if jobs get worse and we're not seeing the stimulus, we're not seeing the private sector go, you will have to see this government is going to, after this Iran conflict goes away, maybe inflation starts coming back down, we start to see an insight in oil prices coming down. We will then go back to really heavily focusing on this US economy, which we were prior. And that would be if driving interest rates down for home affordability, driving interest rates down for small business owners, driving interest rates down for people who have credit cards and things like that. But also you're going to be much more focused on affordability, much more focused on getting these private job creations going. Obviously corporations expanding, growing, hiring, making money and things like that. Because that is what makes this circle of this US economy go, right? This wheel moves. So we need this stuff to happen. And if it doesn't happen, then you just have a lack of growth. You have kind of this stagnant growth, and this is not good for anything. So where we're in right now feels very uncomfortable for most of us. There's a lot of uncertainty, there's a lot of confusion, and we're not really sure. People that are in the tech jobs that I talk to that are clients or work at these big companies that you and I know, we use their products, there's a lot of uncertainty there. They're not sure if they're gonna have a job tomorrow. And if they lose this high paying job, or a lot of these people make great money that support a family, support a lifestyle, support kids, all that stuff, help support our US economy, it's kind of not really good, because if they get laid off, they're not sure where they can go right now to get rehired. So in collecting unemployment, if you're making, $250,000, $350,000 a year, like I mentioned at Meta, that's not even going to be close to even covering like probably a fraction of your bills. So anyways, share this video with somebody. I want to break down the jobs report. It is better than 2025. That's the good news. The bad news is we are not hiring in the private sector. We're not seeing those corporate jobs, those bigger jobs, those tech jobs, those banking jobs, the ones that really make the money, help bring in revenue from spending, from people paying taxes, things like that. That's the big kind of hole in the jobs market right now. So anyways, thanks for watching. As always, reach out if I can help you, and we will continue to watch. Obviously, we will see what happens after today, after tonight, and maybe I'll be reporting that more next week. And there's a deal that is awesome. If there's not a deal met, God bless us. Who knows what's going to happen after this with, rates and things like that. So to be determined on what's next. And as always, we'll continue to follow the data here. We'll continue to follow what exactly is going on out there in the market. And this video will never be replaced by AI or some garbage like that, because you guys, I'll leave you with this. Make sure you're very careful. A lot of people are just putting out content. It's AI related. They're not even looking at it. It's all looking the same. And so here at the Simpson team, you can continue to count on us that we're going to be producing content, that we actually do the research, we do the homework. That means you look at articles, you look at videos, you look at the data, and you go through all this stuff and you talk about things that make sense. You don't just slap something out there because ChatGPT or some other AI platform said this is what it is. So it's really looking at all this stuff and trying to break it down and make sense of how this is going to impact our economy, our interest rates, our real estate market, and that's why we continue to watch stuff. Anyways, guys, thanks so much. Talk to you soon.